All right, so this is going to be the start of the monthly early bird program rundown, kind of just giving a recap from the month of, what we're doing in the program. Early bird club, new members, new proposals, outcomes of the current proposals. Give a couple of shout outs for some contribution that stood out to me and other members of the team and discuss any, projects that we're going to be working on or just some thoughts that I have for the next month coming. So, I'll start off with a few of the changes that we made to the early bird program on the RentFun website. I kind of modified the introduction a little bit, kind of made it more towards, what we were, some of the values that kind of came to mind during this month, and I modified it to kind of fit our core values because this was kind of just a real introductory type of document that was probably purposely made for that so we can continue to modify it as more content was created and gave a little bit direction, a foundation for our program. So that's going to continue to happen. We're going to continue to modify that as time goes on and maybe our club has some changes or we have kind of change in our core value or the direction the project's going to go in. It's going to reflect on these documents here, especially in our early bird program, and kind of the content we're going to be looking to push out will be directly correlated to kind of what we're doing with that. Some of the major changes to this was our contribution score and kind of gave a little breakdown of actually, a scoring system because that was a recommendation that we'd break down that scoring system for the club. So that's something that I did with the help of you guys. So first off, it started with a proposal. This was me kind of giving a breakdown of some of the things that I was grading on for my scoring system. And these, points were threads or posts. It could be Twitter or forum post. So I put high quality as 150, medium quality 75, low quality 35, memes. Capped at 10 submissions because I mean it doesn't, depending on the meme or the quality of the meme. We kind of want more quality content. Yeah, memes are good, but we're looking at, more of thread post and, kind of articles or, videos that are gonna, highlight some of the characteristics of our platform and really showcase what we're trying to do here. So we don't discourage memes. We just, have a cap on it for now. So this was my original thing. You can find this on our forum section if you kind of want to read a more in-depth look at it. Um, so some of the feedback that we received from that initial scoring proposal was, from Dash Red, sorry. He wanted a more, I guess, got kind of an outline to how we're scoring and where people can receive points. So I definitely took that into consideration, thought that was cool. So it gives you more transparency in what the scoring system is. Nick, he offered Um, he liked to know like the criteria. So his question was like, what consists of an article, duration of video, and offered some other, ways for people to get contribution points. For the art people, more artsy, good at making the infographics, Photoshop and other tools for creating these pieces. So I added that. So that was great. Thanks for the feedback. So I put that on here, and I incorporated it into my next submission, which was my version 3. So this is kind of where we're at now. With his suggestions I, included. And then now this is currently where we're at. The design principles, what we're looking for is, we value, quality over quantity. So we're looking for, just quality content that really breaks down what we're trying to do, and anybody can come into our documents and have a good understanding of what the early bird program is, what content we're looking for. You have a clear path of the scoring system, requirements. You can see there's a bonus system, how we're gonna be, doing these scores. We're gonna have contribution submissions. So that's going to be the first and the seventh, between the first and the seventh of every month. So you're going to create a document, you're going to upload it onto the form. It's going to be a short summary with links and any additional thoughts and suggestions you might have for RentFun. So that's just more ways for you to contribute, and just makes it easier for me to kind of go through and access your links, because it can get a little bit clouded over a month. So it just makes it more of a sufficient and efficient process of me contributing and adding up the scores for the next month. um, there will be a late fee, if you can't get it in within that time frame, because the second week is me compiling. After all the submissions are in, I'm going to be compiling the scores, that I'm going to be updating the scores. So these are currently a list of our current, early birds. These are their current scores, and then the contributions. I break down, what they've contributed, and then you can kind of, if you're not, in the club, or you want to see where people are, how people are scoring, you can come to this, which is it's on our sheet here, so you can see the leaderboard. You click this hyperlink, and it takes you to the score, so you can see where we're at currently. So as far as the early birds, we had two new members that were added in April. Um, we had Gangster Geek, who had an exceptional video. So I kind of put notes, if I do modify some scores, as I was doing now, but now it's going to change. I'm going to be doing every month. I'll do that, and I'll kind of put in a note next to your name, what you got your points for, and I'll kind of resubmit back to you a breakdown of your links, and I'll have a score next to it. So then when you come to this sheet here, you're going to see your score, and you're going to see what you got scored on for your submissions. And if there's any um, confusion, or you want to kind of dispute maybe some submissions, we can open that up, and maybe we can add more points based on your whatever you're trying to say. So that's kind of where we're at now. I added another section here. This is something that I did. It's called the EB radar, and what this is members in the Discord. It's called the Blip Bird. So if members coming in, if I scroll through and I see in the community content guide, maybe it's a guy who's submitting a lot of content. It's really good quality. He's not already an early bird, or some other early birds notice, a new member in the community, or a current member who's kind of stepping it up, and um, they'll kind of get on our radar, so we can, have our eyes on them for a week or two. Um, Gangster Geek was one of the Blip Birds. So you kind of start as a Blip Bird, it's what it's called, and then we monitor submissions, or just contributions or feedback over a couple weeks, and then the early bird uh, committee, or the early bird board, that kind of get together. So these are the members for the early bird board. These members here, you'll see them throughout the Discord. They will meet up and discuss a few candidates, and they'll review over their current contributions, and if approved, they then receive an initial contribution score, which will be, here. So they'll get their name on the list. You'll see TBA means they're kind of going through the current approval phase, and then they'll receive a score. So be able to come here, check. We'll give you a shout out, an announcement in the Discord, welcoming a new member. So you'll come here, early bird announcements. So yeah, this is what you'll see. You'll see, we'll make an announcement, the new member, kind of what they contributed, or just kind of welcome them to the club. And so that's how you can keep up to date with that. A few other things that I worked on was um, some rules here, calculation rules. I added um, a few links with takes you to our forum, so you have a brief introduction or rundown of the early bird program, and down here if you wanted a more in-depth analysis of ways of a checklist that you can make, a daily action plan of action or a weekly plan of action, and this will kind of give you something that you can use and modify to make it for what works for you to help you keep on track of getting your contribution scores. If an early bird is something you want to be, this, kind of making a game plan for that will increase your odds of making it into the club. So that's for that. And then Dash Red made a nice little guide to creating content. So if somebody who's kind of, feels overwhelmed, not really sure how to approach a topic, he really made a nice little guide here for current and aspiring early birds to give them some principles, like a step-by-step, method of selecting your source, picking a relevant concept, creating a mind map, and really just helping you, think of other ways of creating content that you maybe can't think of it yourself, or it just makes it an easier process for you to create some quality, content. You can constantly come back, check this, making sure you're hitting every point, and then yeah, so that's what I really thought that was nice and it's really beneficial. You'll see me or, Blankly or anybody else kind of giving feedback. That's fantastic. If we like it, we'll put it up to a proposal, and if it's something we want to use, we'll incorporate it into our guide. So this is something that reached that final, verdict of we incorporated it into our actual foundation for the club. So this is something that we'll stick by. Um, so yeah, you can see the bold words, what it is, the link to the page, and this is a breakdown of the final, scoring system with all the, new additions that were added. So that's currently where we're at as far as proposals. I'm going to be, for this next month here, I'm going to be drafting up a proposal, maybe about a more of a governing, like democracy within the club, where we can have subcommittees. We can have certain leaders, like maybe people who are enjoy making threads, articles, videos. We can have subcommittees within the club where they can co-contribute, so they can make work together to, to make some higher quality, more informative videos, you know, and then it just makes it more collaborative, is which we're trying to get to. So we're trying to get more involvement, more engagement. So we're kind of just testing the waters for now and kind of seeing where people are enjoying like engagement, like what things they're liking, what things they aren't liking. So it's still in the beginning phases, but I think with what I've worked on this month, we kind of set a good foundation, to go from there and to keep modifying and keep working together to create the club and the ecosystem that we want, and it's going to last for the long run. Um, Another shout out I want to give is to Gangster Geek, who created an amazing video just breaking down our testnet system, and I'll let you kind of
It's Gangsta Geek
get a little bit of an intro
XXX
of what
here,
it
and
is. But if
today
you want
we're
to
going to
get
be looking
more,
at
if you want to get more of a in-depth view, I mean, you just check the community content. You can watch. This is about a 7-minute video, which is highly informative, good quality. I'll kind of just skim through it. He shows you how to be a renter. He breaks down the whole network, how to mint the NFT, gives you that perspective, and he breaks down, how to lend it out, and even shows the current gameplay. So this can be any of the Arbitrum NFT games that are partnered with us, or some of the NFTs that are available on the market. And so you'll be able to see the NFTs, and it will right here you can click play to the game. So this will link straight to the game with the NFT, and you're able to start playing right away. So that's kind of what we're doing now. So we encourage a lot of people to kind of get in here and start working the system, because as the marketplace, is set to release, um, we're definitely going to be needing a lot of people testing it. If there's, finding bugs, offering solutions, or, an ease of access, where we're trying to make it as simplistic as possible, where it's user friendly, mobile, and desktop. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at now. And look forward to hearing your guys' feedback. And I appreciate, you taking time to see this, kind of where we're at now and the direction that we're trying to go. So you guys have a good day and take care.